MindStudio is a platform for building AI agents. We'll talk lots about that in the next 50 minutes or so we have together. I've been at MindStudio a year and a half. Before MindStudio, I've really been at the intersection of no-code AI and automation my entire career. I was at Grammarly before this, working on enterprise AI enterprise communication tools. Not just the Grammarly is not just the spell checker we know and love. We did a lot more than that there. And before that, I was at Zapier, working on software automation there as well, helping grow our partner ecosystem there and help play a role in the connectivity to 8,000 applications that they have today. And then before my time at Zapier, I was at Shopify, supporting at the time over 1 million small medium businesses with their e-commerce. Now, they're well past that. But all that to say is I've had a front row seat at a lot of really high performing product teams, really high top product managers in my career, and got a chance to work really closely with them, observe what actually allows these people to work effectively, and really excited to like package some of that up today and talk about what AI agents actually could work really are already working well for product managers, and whether you're a PM here or maybe you work with product teams, maybe you have clients that are product teams and you're thinking of new use cases you want to bring back to them, or you partner really closely with PMs and you want to be mistaken for the product person in the room. This session will help you. I have like a real PM here too in Luis. Luis is on the MindStudio team here. If you've watched any MindStudio videos, if you've been a part of any of our boot camps, if you are a boot camp alumni, please say alumni in the chat so we can say hello and give us a wave. Let us know you are here. So good to see you guys, and we'll talk about our boot camps at more towards the end of the call. But Luis is here. Luis, do you want to say hi quickly and give a little intro, or does everyone know you here? You're just that
Um,
guy.
I actually briefly
Oh,
introduced
we can't hear
myself
you, Luis.
before.
Is that
Oh,
just me?
is
Oh no, we're good. You're good now.
can you
Yeah.
hear me? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I actually briefly introduced myself before you hopped on. But hello again, everyone. Yeah, for those just joining, I'm Luis, Director of Product here at MindStudio. I've been working in uh, several different fields, including augmented reality, the creator economy, and now AI and specifically AI automation. Very excited for Danielle to take the reins and show us a bunch of different use cases for product managers and yeah, I'm just really excited for all y'all to be here. But hello.
Awesome. Thanks, Luis. And then Josh is here too. Josh is in the chat. Josh is straddles between go-to-market and the product team, so he has great perspective to share. So between Josh, myself, and Luis, you've got a lot of Team Minds here represented, and then it looks like from the chat, lots of our alumni are here too, which we love to see it. Okay, folks. So I'm gonna jump literally like right into things. I am going to show y'all a couple of things today. This is a very beginner friendly session. So most of what I'm going to show you today are actually just MindStudio is ready to use AI agents. We are a platform for building AI agents. You can go really far with building custom agents that are specific to your use case, which is great. But we've also got hundreds of ready to go, pre-built, just like click and they're running agents within our platform as well that you can start using without any setup, without any, just with a MindStudio account. So I'm going to show you how a lot of those can apply to project management, product management use cases, and I think also you'll see the applications here just for like general productivity as well if your brain is firing the same way ours does. So couple things that I'm going to show you just to set the stage. This is the MindStudio Chrome extension. Maybe folks can give like a yes in chat if you already have the Chrome extension installed. It's a really, really popular way to trigger MindStudio agents. And what does it mean? Like, what does that mean to trigger a MindStudio agent? Just to like tell the agent to do something. And like, oh, like what? And maybe we should say like define what is an AI agent as well. An AI agent is, fancy word for any type of workflow automation that calls upon an LLM at some point in the process. So it uses AI at some point in the process to do something. What things? I'll show you some of them. None of these ways are like canonical ways to use MindStudio or to use AI or to use AI agents. There are like a couple ways to start getting you excited and thinking and using this kind of stuff in your day to day, but you can take things so much further. So yeah, I'm mostly going to show you our pre-built agents, and we're going to build two real quickies at the towards the end. All that to say, this is a super beginner friendly session. If you are joining as not a beginner, all the alumni that messaged in the chat earlier, this one's going to be a great one to send to folks in your network, folks who are just getting started with this kind of thing, whether they're PMs or not. So that's something to keep in mind, and we'll make sure to get all the recordings to you all after the session. You'll get, if you're here, you'll get an email directly from us. So here's our MindStudio Chrome extension. This is one of the many ways that an AI agent can get triggered. I have, we have a bunch of different agents in here all ready to go. And I'll show you a couple of my favorites. So I've been sitting on this Mistral 3 page for a while now. Why am I here? Mistral 3 launched this week. This is a major LLM from Mistral. This is their new kind of flagship series. And if you've spent even a week in MindStudio, you know that anytime a major LLM, anytime a major model gets released, it's in MindStudio the same day or the next day. What does that mean? It means we have to launch it, talk about it, get people knowing that what this thing is, what it's going to do for them. And at the rate of which new models are launching, that's like really kind of cumbersome and not necessarily cumbersome in the sense that it's a negative thing, but it's a lot of work to go and be up to speed on all these different models on almost on a daily basis at this point. So I'm just running my TLDR agent. It's doing a recap of this article here in a really synthesized way where like I don't need to go and like try to make sense of all these graphs now. I don't need to like understand what are all the different models are, try to make sense of them. This TLDR agent is doing this for me. And then now I have like a shareable asset that I can go and say, hey, like someone on my team, go talk about this on our community. Go do a new video about this model now that it's supported by us. Go create some social posts. Or I can even say, hey everybody, like, did you guys know Mistral 3 launched? Maybe we should add it to our product and share this as a link in Slack. This is ready to go, and the takeaways are already right there for us. I think a lot of our job in product management or even go-to-market roles is trying to make sense of the market and understand how the news and how industry movements have an impact on us. And so this is a really easy way just to stay on top of that kind of thing, but then also be able to share with the rest of your team and share the knowledge with the rest of your team. Same thing. Black Forest Labs released Flux 2, I want to say last week now. We had to move really quickly to get this one shipped onto our platform, but then two, to talk about it. So I had to get up to speed really fast here, and I can just use my TLDR agent to do this for me. It's running, it's reading, it's pulling everything that's on this page, and it's using that as an input or using that as context to run this summary. So that's my TLDR agent, lots of different applications across industry news. I'm going to show you how to build this after with the context of using a TLDR agent for PRDs, so product requirements documents. If you are at a large company, you know that you are reading a lot of these documents because not only are you preparing these for your own team, but you're reading PRDs from all different team members, all your different stakeholders and collaborators, making sure things don't either if they don't affect you and you don't have to worry about it, or if they do affect your product line and now you have to figure out how you're going to work with that. You are reading these all day long, or you might be in leadership and you're trying to keep on top of what your team is up to. We'll show you a build there later on, but I'm going to move on and show you guys another agent. Before I do that, anything, Luis, you want to add here, or any big glaring questions in the chat that we won't address later, you think?
Not yet. Keep going. You're doing great.
All righty, I'm going here. All right, next, I'm going to run very similar to the one I just showed you, but our TLDR video agent. This is doing the same thing, but for videos. So it's taking and pulling the transcripts that are baked into the any YouTube video. So you can see a transcript here if you really wanted to pull it up. For me to go and try to like read this and make sense of this is going to take me just as long as reading this or watching this 45-minute video. This is an article. This is a sorry, not an article. We're on videos now. This is a video with the CPO at Webflow talking about their AI tech stack, how their product managers and run the business. And this is a long listen. So my options either I listen to the whole thing, maybe I try to listen to it on like 2x, or I can just run my TLDR agent real quick and see if anything of this is like relevant to me for you to even go into it. And if it is, maybe I then go and listen to the whole thing. Or, maybe I just say, hey, everybody, really cool video, some interesting tools that are being used at Webflow. Maybe we should consider doing something similar. And again, I'm sharing this now as an asset to my team. Maybe I take pieces of this and I create a social post and like, show my network that I'm staying on top of what the greatest product teams in the industry are doing and how they're using AI by saying, hey, great podcast here from Akash. The part that really stood out to me was, the email agent that triages your inbox by archiving junk, yada, yada, yada. Right. So, not just a way to like synthesize information that you might need, but also build your thought leadership and build your network, build your following with some of these agents. So that's my video TLDR agent. I am going to switch gears from some of these summarizing use cases and show a couple more use cases here that are and all of these again are just ready to go agents from the CR ready to use agents here in the Chrome extension. I'm going to move on from here and show you guys a couple research use cases. So I'm going to show our product. I'm going to find my product alternatives agent. I'm going to just let this start running because it takes a couple seconds here because it's now doing research on the web. What this product alternatives agent does is it recognizes the site that you're on and it pulls a bunch of different product alternatives based on that site. So I'm on Asana's website right now. Asana is a project management tool. A lot of PMs use this. A lot of marketing teams use this too. Like a lot of everybody uses one of the most ubiquitous project management tools out there in the industry. And I might be on here for a couple reasons. I might be here trying to do vendor selection. Maybe we need a new vendor for my team. I might be on here for competitive intel. Maybe I maybe I have a project management tool that's a competitor and I want to know who else is out there. I might be on here to get an understanding of, okay, like all of my users are coming to me saying they want integration with project management tools. I don't have a good lay of that land. I know maybe some of the big players, but who are some of the other players in that space? So a lot of different product management use cases for our Find Product Alternatives doc. And in the time that I took to even just explain what this thing does and some of the use cases there, it's gone ahead and done this research for me. So here we go. We've got, it's given you a little bit of an assessment of what Asana is. It's correctly recognized the site that we were on, and it's now done the competitor analysis. We see Monday.com here, Rike, ClickUp, Trello, Airtable, and we see strengths and weaknesses across the board. Again, I'm sounding probably like a broken record by now, but this is now a shareable asset that I can go share with my team of like, hey, done research a couple vendors. Does anything stand out here? Or, love the idea of using Asana, but maybe we should consider Rike and instead for whatever reason, maybe we really care about a strong integration ecosystem with Salesforce for whatever reason. Or I can use this as if I'm doing a competitive analysis, I can use this and just embed it into a report that I'm doing. Maybe to take some screenshots, or even just like use this as a way to get ideas of what I might want to research next. And I'll show you how to do that. So something that we can do here. So let's go to Trello's page for a second here. Trello is, like a Kanban style tool. So it's, correctly identified a potential competitor, potential alternative to Asana here. And I might want to go like one layer deeper here and get a better understanding of what Trello is all about, what this company is all about. So what I'm going to use for that is my cheat sheet generator agent, also available in the Chrome extension, also ready to use completely out of the box. What this agent has done already is just like quickly scan this page and it's like, hey, there's actually a lot of different companies noted on here. Just like, I just want to check which one you want to do the research on before I go and run and do all that. And Trello is owned by Atlassian, so yeah, sure, let's go ahead and do some research on Atlassian. This is going to take a couple minutes actually, because a lot is being done here. This is not going and just summarizing the page the same way we were, doing it with the TLDR agents earlier. This is actually going and running a bunch of research without you even having to leave the tab here about this company. So typically what I would do if I'm researching a company like this, I would go, I bounce a little bit back and forth between their site. I'd see, okay, solutions. Okay, what are some of their use cases? Okay, looks like Trello is used by product management tools. Okay, that's me. Engineering team, startups. Okay, cool. What's their pricing? Who are some of the customers that are used by that are using that tool? Maybe there's similar folks who are similar to us, or maybe we have some. If this is a competitor, maybe we have a customer that we're trying to poach from them, or trying to get or even just try and get an understanding of their ICP. I'll be like doing just like bouncing around between all these different tabs. Not only is this cheat generator using the company's website as a research source, but it's also just scanning the entire web, which is something I would never be able to do if I was quickly trying to do research in between meetings, or somehow trying to carve out time to do that. It would take me, days, if not weeks. It's pulling a bunch of different information all across web from sources like Crunchbase, anything that you'd need to put together a one-sheeter on this. So this is going to take a couple minutes here. I might do a little bit of movie magic and show you what an output looks like, just because this one is doing a lot. And it does take a bit of time. So doing some movie magic here. This is when I ran it earlier today. So we see all the things that these are all the things that I helped design this agent. So these are all the things that I care about. You might want to make a copy of this agent and have additional fields in here that you care about that are not reflected. And I'll show you how to do that in just a second. Hang tight there. So we have the company overview, a snapshot list on their industry, when were they founded, their CEO, and their leadership team, in this case, co-CEOs, company size. Okay, this is a really big company, big competitor here. Where are they located? How many customers do they have? What's their go-to-market strategy? Pricing model, ICP, some of their key strengths. Who are their key customers? Or their competitors? And we see a lot of similar players as what we saw in the product alternatives doc or agent that we saw. So this is now, again, shareable asset. This is so valuable to me. I run this agent almost every day. Some of the ways I run it is, for example, if we have a partner that we're exploring a partnership with, and I'm bringing Luis or I'm bringing Dimitri, our CEO, into these calls. I don't have the time to go and like put together a one pager for these guys to like ramp them up on who we're meeting with, what their business is, their scale. Instead, I'm sharing this as a shareable asset with them on Slack and saying, hey, here's everything you need to know about these guys. Another way I use it is one, of course, for competitive intel. If there's a new player in this space that I want to get an understanding of, I'm absolutely running this agent and keeping it on my back pocket, because chances are someone in Slack or someone in our support inbox or someone on socials is going to ask us, hey, what's the difference between you guys and this other thing? And I'll at least have a baseline understanding there. And then the other way I use this is just for my own personal research ahead of calls. This is truly a cheat sheet, right? When I'm in these calls, I am dropping facts that the player whether it's a partner, whether it's a potential customer, that they didn't think I would know, right? I would, maybe we're thinking about a potential partnership together. I'd ask, hey, what does Mike and Scott think about this kind of thing? Is this a priority for them? I might say, hey, do you ever go to your HQ in Sydney? Like, when's the last time you've been over there? What's it like there? Oh my gosh, I saw you guys were working with NASA. That's actually, one of our joint customers, or we're exploring a proof of concept with them, or maybe there's a way we can all get more out of this together. So this is a hugely hugely beneficial agent for me in my personal day-to-day and has saved me just several hours a day of research and prep work ahead of calls and just like in general getting a lay of the market. So those are all of the pre-built, ready-to-use agents I wanted to show off to you all. All of those are again are just available right now for free with our MindStudio Chrome extension. So go ahead and download that if you haven't already, just so that you can get access there. And our team will post a link in the chat there. I'll pause for just a minute before going into a couple builds. Luis, anything that you want to add here or things that folks are raising? I see a lot of stuff in the chat, but not things that I've been following. So would love to hear from you.
You just answered it. The main question was, where can people like actually access these tools that you showcased? Can you just show us one more time just for posterity?
Yes. So this is our MindStudio Chrome extension. I already have it downloaded. Once you download it, you will see this black thing here on your browser. You'll see this black button, and then you can look at, and just to recap all the ones that I've shown you today, the one that we're looking at right now, that's Cheat Sheet Generator. The one that I showed you before this is Find Product Alternatives. Before that was Video TLDR. And then the last one was just TLDR agent. And for what it's worth, you can also pin these agents into your extension, so they'll be found easy access. So there's I just pinned it, so now it's showing up right within this panel. Makes it just a little bit easier, especially if it's one that you're using all the time. You can see I've got a lot on here that I use on a regular basis, and that is a little tip for you all to make these agents a little bit more easy to find.
And
Sweet.
just a small clarification, you do need a MindStudio account as well to access the agents in the Chrome extension.
Correct. And maybe folks can share. I mean, it's mindstudio.ai, pretty easy URL to find, but if folks don't mind sharing it in the chat as well, just so folks can make it just make it that much easier. Cool. Let's go into like on that note. Let's go there. So here's where you land when you go to mindstudio.ai. This is our homepage here. I'm already logged in, so I'm going to see my workspace as you know the call to action here. We can use we're with PMs today, so we can use PME language. So the CTA here I'm seeing is my workspace. If you don't have an account with us, you'll see a call to action to create one. So once you do that, you'll see the same things that I do. You'll land here. You'll get a really warm welcome from our CEO here. And a lot of different resources that you have available to us, not things that we're going to go into right now for the build, because I'm going to be showing you how to do all this. But just know that all these resources are here for you. Our MindStudio University. These are completely self-guided build guides and tutorials and docs, technical docs as well on how to build these things to your spec, build these agents to your spec. We also have our AI agent bootcamp. So if you don't want to go self-guided, or if you're thinking about, hey, how do I become certified in AI agent building? Our AI agent bootcamp is where you're going to want to end up. And then later on down the line, if you are thinking about using MindStudio across your team, kind of going beyond personal productivity, which is where we're focused on in this call, you can get in touch with us here really easily, make it really easy to find us. So that's just a little bit of the resources you're going to see at the top. I'm going to skip all that. I don't need this step today. I'm going to go into, and then I'll just show again our ready to use agents. I know people were really interested in that. I'm going to actually go to created by me, and we're going to jump into some of the agent use cases that we have. So 2 agents we're going to build together. One is a PRD TLDR summarizer. So you're going to see how the backend looks like for those TLDR agents I was showing earlier, and how and you're going to start to figure out kind of the patterns of these things. You're going to start to figure out, okay, like with a couple building blocks, I don't really have to learn anything new in just using the same building blocks to accomplish different things. And the second agent that we're going to build is a user interview cheat sheet. So this is what this is going to do is going to take any interview that you've done with a user, maybe you've done it for research purposes, maybe you did it for marketing purposes, maybe it was a sales call, and it's going to tell you what the persona is. It's going to talk about some opportunities for you as a PM that you might want to think about filling as a product gap. Maybe you want to add something to your product roadmap. It's going to talk about the key strengths so that you can understand how your customers are getting value out of your tool. And again, create a shareable asset that you can distribute to your team. So I'll show you how these things are going to work first so that you know whether you want to stick around for the build or not. I want to show you that I want to show you how the value that you can get out of these, and then we'll go into the actual builds themselves. So I'm going to use I'm going to go into a PRD here. Just going to pull that up here. I did not ask Luis if I can do this, but this is an old roadmap, so I'm gonna hope he doesn't get back. We are on an old roadmap, a MindStudio roadmap, real stuff, no fake data over here. And I'm gonna run my PRD summarizer here. What this is going to do is same as our TLDR summarizer that we were using on industry news and all that good stuff. It's gonna run a summary here of what I need to know as a PM looking at this. So it's giving me a high level. This is like a really meaty document. It's going to give me a high level summary. It's going to give me the key points, key risk, unknowns, and then it's going to link back to the original thing. So what I can do with this is, okay, maybe I'm looking at another PM's PRD and I need to synthesize that for my team, my engineers, so that they know what the other team is working on. I can go ahead and share this as a asset. Or I might want to, maybe this is a PRD I wrote, and I want to be able to, to my CEO or to my CPO or one of my VPs, I want to just share a very high level overview of what we're working on this quarter. I can go ahead and do that here. Really valuable use case, and doesn't have to be just for PRDs, right? This could be for like in this case, I used it on a roadmap. You can use it on resourcing documents. Maybe we're all doing kind of probably 2026 planning right now, planning documents. You can tweak the agent really easily to get it to work for you there. So I'm going to start. So I've built this agent already, and I'll send you guys the remix link for it so that you can have it. I'm going to start from scratch so that you can see how this thing comes together. And we're going to do it pretty quick and dirty here. The one that I built and showed you, I had a little bit of extra time to finesse it, make sure the prompt was looking nice, make sure the output was to my liking. I'll show you how you get there. I also want to articulate like how quickly these things come together. Like we don't have to spend hours like perfecting it. You can get really far without really doing a whole lot. So where am I right now? I am in the automations canvas. So this is where you actually are building AI agents. There is a couple things all ready to go here. There's a start and an end. And then now I'm going to fill in what happens in between. And I'm going to fill those things in with our blocks. Our blocks are literally what we call them. They're the building blocks to the AI agent, tells the AI agent what to do and in what order. So this one's going to be super simple. This one is going to use, so every agent has a start block. There are lots of different ways to trigger an AI agent. You can run it on demand. So when you tell the agent to run, it'll run. You can run it on a schedule. Maybe I want a daily schedule of all the new PRDs that, if I'm in leadership, all the new PRDs that my PMs have put together in the last week. Maybe I want this thing to run on a schedule somehow. In this case, we are using the browser extension. You guys know that. You just saw it run. You already saw that it was triggered by the browser extension. So you all can follow along there. Next, I am going to add in a generate text block. We call it generate text block, but really what this block is doing is just calling on a model. And in this case, that model is a Claude model, and it's you're telling the model what to do. And in this case, so we have a bunch of different launch variables that are built in because we are triggering this AI agent through the browser extension. This is like a whole bunch of stuff that like we don't even need to understand what all this stuff is right now. All you need to know is that the page content variable is the page content. So it's everything that you get on the page that that you're on and that you're triggering the agent on. So this is what we want. This is what we want to be summarizing because we're gonna like, you can't summarize the thing if you don't have the thing to summarize. So page content is the variable that we're gonna be using here. If you are curious like me and you want to know what all these other things are, you can just go ahead to the quick help tab and we explain all of those in here. Okay, so let's go into our prompt in here. We're in our generate text block. We are able to call upon all these variables being containers of information. We know that our page content contains all the page content of the page. So let's call upon it. Let's say, and here's how we do that here. We do a couple curly brackets and we write in page content. These curly brackets here, this is not coding. This is just calling upon that variable. So the same way, like if you use like Notion, for example, and you want to call upon another, like you want to link another Notion page within one Notion page, you use like the @ sign, and then it shows up for you there. Similar concept. This is just grabbing that information and using it and referencing it when we are calling the model, telling the model to do something. So we have our page content here, and now we need to tell the model what to do with this. And we're going to tell it to do it in natural language, the same language that I would use to tell someone on my team to do something, or chat with a chat GPT and tell it to do something. So we're going to say using the page content, create a PR and like, okay, which is a PRD, create a summary that is relevant to a product manager. Is this like a good prompt? Like not really, right? We've kind of are not giving it too much to work with, and that kind of doesn't really matter for the purposes of this. I could have also generated a prompt, and maybe I'll show you guys that after if we have time. I can also like auto enhance this prompt, but for the most part, like my agent's done. Any guess like how long did that take? Like 30 seconds? I don't know. Like that's it. Like we built an AI agent, right? Well, let's publish it and make sure it's ready to go. But that's pretty much all that it takes to build an AI agent is a couple. You could in this case one block and the trigger being the browser extension. So let's use this thing. So this is called PRD Summarizer. Let's go back to that PRD. I'm sure Louisa loves that I'm spending so much time on this internal document.
I
And there's
actually
my,
love it because all of the things that are on there are actually live now.
I love
Like
it.
90% of the stuff that's in that doc, I'm like, oh yeah, we did plan to do this and it's real now.
I love that. I love that. So no secrets today, folks. Sorry. Everything you're seeing here is going to be ready to go. So very similarly, even though I spent a little bit more time finessing the one I wanted to show that I showed right before this, like I get pretty similar stuff here. I get a little bit of a summary at the top. I get a deep dive, or not a deep dive, but like a deeper summary of each of the things in that roadmap here. And then there's like and then it's kind of gone rogue and like done a bunch of additional ideas, which like great. I can tell it not to do that in the prompt if I don't want that. And then it's given me like key insights, questions to consider. This is fine, but like I want to make it a little bit more structured. So let's go back to our agent and give it more to work with, right? Because it can only, it's doing what we tell it to do. So what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna say use this format. Okay. I'm going to be using Markdown for this. Markdown is like a kind of like a style framework. If you've used again like a Notion or a Coda, you'll be familiar with this. If you use a hashtag, that tells the agent to use to put in a header. And same thing if we do 2 hashtags, that's a subheader. There are tons of Markdown guides out online that you can find to use here, but I'm just going to roll with it and you'll see what gets output. Let's put exec summary, and then let's just call this like point 1, point 2, and then key risks, point 1, point two. Maybe that's all I care about. There's probably more in the PRD that I should probably care about, but let's say the only thing I want to know and extract out of there and summarize is just like a quick exec summary and then some key risks. Okay, so let's run that again. We just hit publish there, so this is ready to go. We're going to hit that PRD summarizer again, give it a second to ingest all of this information in here. And then there we go. I have the format exactly that I wanted. It gives me that exec summary with a header at the top. It gives me the key risks. And that's really how easy it is to customize these agents and shape them to get the output that you want. That's it. That's the build. Like super easy, super simple. And you can imagine like different applications for this, right? Maybe I don't want it to be for a PRD. Maybe I want it to be for a roadmap, and I want the roadmap. I want it to rank everything in the roadmap with like a RICE framework. Maybe I want to like summarize an email thread that I'm having with my manager that takes away the key insights to then I can go add it to the product read like based off the feedback that they're giving me and makes the edits for me, right? Like there's just with this one block, there's a lot of different possibilities with block like generate text block plus Chrome extension and I'd love to hear if you guys have any in the chat. If the wheels are turning and you're having ideas for use case, share them so that maybe we'll build them another time together, or you guys might want to build them together and meet up that way, or you might want to build them and share it with the community. Have folks use what you've built. So let's hear them if you got them. One more build together. Luis, I'm going to pause again. Anything you want to add here? Any questions that are coming up?
There's just one question. Someone was asking about how to pick like the right AI model. They saw that there's like a lot of AI models, available. There's over 200 models available to use in MindStudio. And just a quick note on that, you kind of have four main criteria. And it's price, latency, how fast it is, quality of the output, which is all subjective, and then the context window, which kind of is how much data you can pass through. And so as you start using, different models, you'll test things out and kind of figure out what's right for you.
Yeah, and I kind of glazed over that because it doesn't really like for a use case like
Yeah.
this, doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
Right? Like
exactly.
this is a for anything that's like kind of just like an like we use Claude because it's a great all-purpose model for depending on what you want to do. You wouldn't use this model if like for example, you're generating images, right? You might want to like you'd want to use an image model. So we have multiple different like we're multimodal, so that means that we have image generation models, text generation models, image analysis models, video generation models, lots of different things on here. But what we kind of preset here for you is going to be pretty great. And you can also adjust a lot with it as well in the model settings. For example, some of the summaries I were getting were a bit long. If I wanted to just bring that max response size down, I will be getting a lot shorter summary. That'll work better for me in this case. And it'll also control token costs as well.
Hey,
Okay.
Danielle,
Hey.
could we also just quickly flash the debugger and just show like that you can track, how the cost of the LLMs that you run and stuff like
Mhm,
that?
mhm. Yeah, totally. So you saw a couple of so these were, I ran the agent twice. You see two runs in here, and then it gives me that total cost of the run here. This is like, we can get more into it and like how that all comes together, but I do want to spend some time on the next agent build. So hold the thought if there's questions on like, how am I making sense of, pricing? How does this all work? I'll make a note to spend some time on that. Cool. And then the last thing, and what I want to show as well onto that is our profiler tool. This is like the ability to test different models against each other. You give it something to do. What's a PRD? And then now I have a Gemini model from Google and Claude from Anthropic going at this task together. We can see Gemini is really, really thinking about it. whereas Claude has already completed the task. And we have the cost here as well as, okay, it's really going. All right, we have the cost here, and you can just see visually how how fast it was. Or you have the latency, but you also we all just saw how quick Claude was in comparison. You definitely got more detail here, but and maybe that's useful to you depending on your use case, or maybe you just want something fast, dirty, cost effective. Alrighty, so let's go into the next build. So I'm going to show you how this one works as well. This is going to be our user interview cheat sheet. So right now I am on a YouTube video. This is a fireside chat. It was a user interview we did with one of our customers, David Cohn. There he is. He works at Advanced Local, and he has really transformed their organization with MindStudio. They are a over 100-year-old media company. They own a bunch of local papers all over the United States. They've got millions of readers and a bunch of different companies that roll up to them. He's brought in MindStudio to their organization. They have over 300 agents now that are doing all sorts of things for them. And if you want to know what some of those things are, you can either watch this hour video, or let's use our user interview cheat sheet. So this is again working very similarly to the video TLDR agent that I showed earlier. It is ingesting the page content, taking that transcript, doing something with it. Before it was doing creating just a really generic summary. What it's doing now and what we've told AI to do is to give me something that's relevant to me as a PM. Take this user interview and tell me who they are. What's their job? Give me a summary at the top. What's this persona? How are they using my product? What are some of their pain points? And this is still going here. This is giving me a lot of good stuff. Their emotional signals, opportunities and recommendations, all these different opportunities that we can go and take and implement. And it's using quotes to back these things up. How long would it take? I'm just thinking, like, as this thing is running, like, how long would this take me to actually create a document like this for my team? Like several hours. I'd probably have to watch this interview back like 2 to 3 times just to like let it all sink into my brain. I'd have to like use a lot of creative energy and thought to think about, how does this make sense for me and my product and my team and our priorities? I'd have to go and structure all those things. Like this is now like, two days of work just trying to understand one customer, right? And but I've, if you're PM or you're a designer or you're a marketer or market researcher, you're probably going through 5 of these a day, right? So no time for such things. So here's what I got. I've got this cheat sheet here that I can go and share with my team, and I'm using public access for all these. So if you go to so I can actually we can share maybe even share some of these assets if there's interest in that, so you can poke around with them. But really rich document here. Again, like I have key quotes that have been pulled out here. It's actually being used like that it can actually make sense of, right? I showed you guys the transcript earlier. It's all really disjointed and messy and like weird. The quotes are in this document are really clean and simple and like well articulate, like well formatted. So really great cheat sheet that can be sent to like, hey, maybe I'm a PM, maybe I'm not just going to depend on my agents, right? I'm a good PM. I'm going to listen to what my customers are actually saying. I probably would watch this thing in full, but for the rest of the team who are not going to watch it in full, I can share that as an asset for them so they can still get all the great takeaways. So let's go ahead and build this one now too. I could literally, like, I don't even have to start from scratch here because we're using the same elements. So I'm going to actually do that. I am going to clear this prompt here because this is also going to use the Chrome extension. You saw I triggered it the exact same way. And we're going to go ahead and just literally change the prompt. This is like how easy this is. So again, using the page content, which is a transcript of a user interview, generate a cheat sheet of all the major pain points, and feature product, let's say product features that would be relevant to a product manager to know. Like Luis is probably cringing at this prompt and like I don't even care because I'm just trying to articulate like how you can really just use natural language and like the language that you're thinking in to build these things, right? And you know, let's make this a bit better though. Let's go ahead and auto enhance this prompt. This is just one click. I clicked enhance and this is running and it's going to produce a better prompt for me. We'll give this a second here. If it takes any longer than this, I'm already moving on to the next thing, but no, luckily it didn't take too long. It's put in like XML tabs here. Like this is something we go in depth on in our boot camp. I'm not going to talk about this stuff today, but basically the long and the short of it is that it allows your agent to operate with a little bit more specificity. So that's fine. That's cool. So saying generate a cheat sheet of all the major pain point product features from the provided interview script. The cheat sheet should be relevant and useful for product manager. Respond only with a formatted cheat sheet. Okay, fine. Acceptable to me. Let's use that enhanced prompt here. Okay, that's it. The agent's done. So again, like a couple minutes here, and most of that time was spent with like MindStudio going and auto enhancing the prompt. At that point, I could have like gone to the washroom, gone to get a coffee, whatever, and this thing is ready to go. So let's rename this thing for a second here. This is no longer our PRD summarizer. This is now our user interview cheat sheet generator. And again, all of this is to articulate that like same patterns, different use case, right? And then let's just like clear that description out. And then let's hit publish there and then run that thing again. So user interview cheat sheet generator, let's go find that in our Chrome extension. And there it is here. Okay, so we'll give that a second to run. And it is generating that summary here of this interview again. And, you know, different format from the one I showed you earlier, the one I you know, spent a little extra time and love on, but still covering all the major things, even with just like I think it was like a 2-sentence prompt, right? So pain points addressed, workflow inefficiencies, resource constraints. These are all the pain points we were solving for this customer in this case. The key product features that they are using. And what else is it giving us? Technical capabilities highlighted. This is really just like such a rich resource that we can get out of this interview here. And I'm using it on YouTube. Your user interview transcripts might be not on YouTube, might not be on YouTube. They might be in Gong, they might be in Fireflies. You know, what are some of the note takers in the room here? Fathom, Fly on the Wall. There's a lot of different note taker examples in here. You might have and they might not be user interviews, right? These might be sales calls. They might be you know, strategy sessions or customer advisory board meetings that you want synthesized and summarized. Anywhere where you have that transcript and you have a need to do something with that transcript, you can use the same building blocks to achieve that goal and make it automated through an AI agent. So let's see the full output here. Alrighty, so lots of different and it's summarized to me here, the business impact metrics. That's going to be really important as a PM. So I know how to prioritize if I am using things like RICE score and things like that, and prioritizing different features to maybe invest into. That's super important. And then I have, I love this key quote at the end that it pulled. Every organization needs a David Cohn, someone who understands AI agent building, has creativity to identify solutions, and can work with business users to transform operations. Hopefully this session today got you like one step closer to being the David Cohn of your organization. That's all I've got. I know we've got just a couple minutes left. I want to thank folks as well for their patience with some of the technical difficulties at the top of the call. If you weren't able to get in and you came back and kept trying, you are awesome. Thank you for doing that. Got a couple minutes to answer a couple questions, but I will say just at the top of this, if some of this stuff was interesting to you, things that you think you could use, a couple things you can do from here. 1, create a free MindStudio account. 2, download the Chrome extension. The first 4 agents that I showed you all today are all completely free to use under that free account. And we have, very kind of low cost options for building out the couple of the ones that I shared here too. So you can check that out on the pricing page at your own time. If you liked the idea of building AI agents and you want to gain expertise there, go to MindStudio University, university.mindstudio.ai. All of those tons of self-guided resources here to help you build agents that are much more sophisticated, much more interesting than the ones that I showed you today. If you want to go from beginner to more intermediate. And then if you want us to actually guide you through that building process, you want to walk away as a certified AI agent builder, you want to walk away as a David Cohn, you can join one of our boot camps. We have one running actually Monday of this week, Monday and Tuesday. Luis is going to be, Luis and our CEO, Dimitri Shapiro, are going to be running those boot camps. But we run those monthly. We've got a 2-day, so that's a 2-day happening on Monday, Tuesday. We run those 2 days monthly, and that gets you walking away with our level 1 certification. We also have a 30-day format, that 30-day format, excuse me, that'll help you that'll get you to walk away with a level 3 certification. That's our highest level certification. That one's more on a more part-time basis, where the 2-day are going to be 2 full-day sessions. The 30-day is spread out over those 30 days with live trainings and asynchronous work. We are running a Black Friday deal for our boot camps right now. With the code Black Friday, you get 50% off all of our programs, all of our dates. So folks can find the links to how to sign up for that in the chat. Would love to see you there, spend even more time with you all, and would love for you to take advantage of the Black Friday promo lines while we have it today. It does end tonight. So if that is something that you are interested in, definitely carve some time out after this to dig into it. That's what you can do after this session. Anything else, Luis or Josh, that we should make sure to cover while we have folks?
You covered most of it. We're including links in the chat if you want to join MindStudio University, sign up for a boot camp. If you need the Chrome extension, or if you want to just check out our community page to see what folks are talking about when it comes to MindStudio, all the links are included there. And the
Awesome.
boot camps are worth it. People love it. You can check out our pages. Like there are alumni from the boot camps here who can attest. Like it is a truly awesome experience, and you get to really network with, other folks who are building AI agents as well as like by the end of it, you're going to be surprised with yourself how much progress you've made building AI agents. So everyone who's an alumni, you guys are awesome, and thank you for showing up today as well. Yeah.
Yeah, alumni, we'll see you in Slack. Our Slack community is open to everyone as well, so we'll make sure to include the link on how to join. Alumni gets some secret special areas in there, but we are open to everyone. So we'll make sure that you guys get the link to this recording as well as a link to join our Slack in an email, probably later today or sometime tomorrow. All right, good to see everybody. See y'all soon. See you at Slack. See you on the boot camp. See you everywhere. Bye.